Good afternoon, good morning, or good night, meatheads. What's happening, guys? Impossible Burger CEO behind meat tax propaganda. What a surprise. What a total and complete surprise. Who would have ever thought that the people pushing the meat tax might have ulterior motives other than saving the planet? Right? So everybody, I hope you're wearing your favorite gender fluid attire today for this gender neutral broadcast to save the planet from all the useless eaters. We got to stop eating meat because we're using up too many of the precious resources of the oligarchs, guys. So it's Thanksgiving, and I hope none of you meatards are out there eating turkey because turkey's bad for Mother Earth. For the Mother Earth. We got to say the earth, yo. Say the earth from the people. Had too many babies. Let's see here. No, that's the wrong one. All right, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving up in America. We're down here in Ecuador, so we don't have Thanksgiving here. So shout out to my family. Miss you guys. Love you guys. My dad's gonna go hang out with his siblings. My mom's up in Canada. They're not divorced, you guys. They're not divorced. Don't worry. It's just they didn't engage in the great American rite of passage, only trumped by. The only thing that's greater than divorce in America is abortion, right? It's the only thing more beautiful in America than divorce is abortion. They're not divorced, but my mom, she works up in Canada. She works up in Canada. She works her butt off. Yeah. I think I kind of ruined Thanksgiving in our family by moving to Ecuador, though. Right? When I moved to Ecuador, it all just kind of fell apart. It's like, if Tristan's not coming, fuck it. It's not worth it. We're not going to do it without him. All right. I have so many tabs pulled up. All right, guys. Can you believe it, though? Can you believe it? The Impossible Burger CEO. I thought he was just this amazing philanthropist. But it turns out he might have some slight tendencies to embellish certain facts. He might not be the most neutral source of information in the world. The Impossible Burger CEO. And we're going to talk about this. So we had meat tax talk for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks straight, there's this huge media blitz. Of course, all mainstream media is consolidated, right? Even these fake online mainstream news media outlets you see like BuzzFeed, all consolidated. The consolidated mainstream media always running the same message, right? Giving you the same ideology, giving you the same images, the same words, the same programming. So we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to try and shake some life into you here on the Eat Meat Make Family stream. I've got this stupid camera. Sorry, I'm gonna move the camera. You guys might be able to see me for a second. I'm trying to get all my stuff labeled correctly here in OBS, and my right click is being a bastard right now. I right click and then it disappears. There it goes. Come back, mother. Okay, there we go. I'm not gonna swear today, you guys. If you guys hear me swear, slap me on the wrist. Okay, there it is. That's how I'm gonna label that one. I have so many tabs pulled out that I gotta keep them labeled and organized in OBS here. Okay, now I'll turn the camera back and you can see me. You can see me. Here, get it out of the way. So, meat taxes. We've been told that meat's bad, people are bad. You guys are heating up the planet by eating all your meat. You're making it so damn hot. Look at the fires. Look at those fires, you guys. There's fires happening right now in California. Right? And that's all because people are eating meat. Let's not talk about how the government in California has basically quarantined the entire state out of being able to actually use their water. Right? If you drive through the Central Valley of California for the last couple decades, you see these giant billboards that say, Congress created drought. Right? The farmers in Central California know what the drought has been and how this is engineered. Now, the water is being very carefully, very carefully rationed in California. But oh no, it's because global warming. You guys are eating meat. You've got to stop eating meat. Got to stop that shit. Got to stop eating meat because there's fires. There's fires. You guys made the fires with your farts, you stupid cows. The damn cows. So we had a lot of, where'd it go? I had all these articles from everybody's most trusted news outlets, like the BBC, right? Everybody loves the BBC. The BBC, home to just great family entertainers like Jimmy Savile. Yeah, the BBC, home of Jimmy Savile. Protecting Jimmy Savile for decades. Jimmy Savile, who was probably, I'm sure if you go to Jimmy Savile's Wikipedia, it'll say he's a philanthropist, right? Jimmy Savile was a great philanthropist. He loved to just help the children to feel better, helping the world, helping the planet. So BBC trying to help the planet. Should there be a tax on red meat? Of course, they rerun these same articles every couple years. Should we tax red meat? Well, maybe. In 2015, the World Health Organization, oh my goodness, the World Health Organization, which is the World Health Organization, the UN's fake authority on health, call themselves the World Health Organization. Of course, this is all started through big NGOs, international big-moneyed interests, who created the UN, who created the World Health Organization on behalf of foundations like the Rockefeller Foundation, started by John D. Rockefeller in 1913. To protect his legacy. People looked at John D. Rockefeller like he was one of the most evil people in the world, right? People looked at John D. Rockefeller like a cancer, a scourge of the earth. But through decades of philanthropy of the Rockefeller Foundation, now people, if you go to the Wikipedia and you look at any of the Rockefeller brothers, David Rockefeller, Nelson Rockefeller, they're philanthropists. Now, you're not going to see their names much in media anymore. After the death of David Rockefeller, it's going to be kind of dispersed among these other NGOs. You got the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation now, Ford Foundation, the Carnegie Endowment. But this is the vehicle for big business, for big moneyed interests, to play shell games worldwide. And the World Health Organization is essentially the big pharmaceutical lobbies, big swinging dick, right? So the World Health Organization said that they could cause cancer. They're going to cause the cancer. The World Health Organization, of course, you don't hear them talking about Monsanto. You don't hear them talking about the practices of, modern industrial agriculture, pesticide usage, and the link between pesticide use and autism, pesticide use and gut microbiota disruptions, right? Glyphosate, it's well known, opens up the tight junction in the gut, breaks open your blood-brain barrier, and allows toxins. Or I guess, maybe the philanthropists can rename those toxins. We can call them nutrients. And allows nutrients to cross the blood-brain barrier. So they've declared meat to be cancerous. Researchers at the University of Oxford said meat eaters were also increasing the burden on the health service and economy. Now, of course, where'd it go? Just so many tabs. Of course, Oxford is just totally neutral, right? Red meat's causing bad, bad stuff. Bad stuff. Cancer, so much money on it's a burden on the healthcare system. The healthcare system, right? And they're trying to make this look at like a global issue now. Of course, this is in the UK. Oxford kind of being essentially the Harvard of the UK. And of course, David Rockefeller being one of the biggest donors to Harvard University. Harvard University is essentially just a mouthpiece for Rockefeller interests. Oxford University, deep in bed with Monsanto, saying that we got to tax meat to save the environment. How could this tax work, and what would it do to prices? In the UK, the study suggests a tax of 14% on red meat and 79% on processed meat. What is this? What is this study? We're going to look into what this study is in a moment. But first, let's look at other totally neutral. We got the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, right? Oh, wow, responsible medicine. Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. Lord Birkenhead would approve. Meat taxes on global health. Meat taxes global health, rather. So why not tax meat? New research shows that a tax on red and processed meats, such as hot dogs, bacon, and deli meat, could save millions of lives and billions of dollars in healthcare costs. Researchers from the University of Oxford. Ooh, Oxford. Ooh. So if you eat enough soy, if you're soyified enough, and if you watch enough TV, you'll actually believe that when somebody says Oxford or Harvard or researchers say or scientists say or doctors bow say, if you're dumb enough and you're soyed up enough, you believe that these are actual authorities. So you got the Physicians Committee. Let's see what else the Physicians Committee talks about. Good nutrition. Oh, well, plant-based diets. Lovely. Here's a 2016 article from veganfestival.com.uk where you can see everybody's favorite vegan activists like Gelfling Ed and some of these other degenerates. It's just praising the UN. The UN's going to tax meat to death. Oh, how lovely. Washington Post was talking about this. Think beyond meat. Oh, think beyond meat. How nicely that linguistically ties in with the Beyond Burger, the Beyond Meat, which Bill Gates has invested hundreds of millions of dollars into. And so think beyond meat. How a sausage and bacon tax could save hundreds of thousands of lives every year. The WHO says red meat is probably carcinogenic. Should it be regulated in the same way as carcinogens like tobacco and asbestos and other foods of public health concern like sugary drinks? So, where is this information coming from? These studies that they speak of. What is the study? Where is this study? Well, let's look deeper into it. Let's look a little deeper into it. Now, the study cited, let me find this. In the UK, a study suggests a 14% tax on red meat and 79% tax on processed meat. Well, this study was published in PLOS. Now, that's like POS, like piece of shit, but with an L in between the P and the O. PLOS is this journal which published it. The study says health-motivated taxes on red and processed meat, a modeling study on optimal tax levels and associated health impacts, headed by Marco Springman. PLOS. Talking about climate change. Pushing the amazing enlightened vaccines. PLOS published the study. Marco Springman headed this. Marco Springman being the Oxford professor. Now, what's up with PLOS? What is this journal? Who owns this journal, PLOS? Because it's always very interesting to look for, possible conflicts of interest, right? Possible conflicts of interest. Might there be a conflict of interest here? So PLOS is a nonprofit, open access science, technology, and medicine publisher, innovator, an advocacy organization with a library of open access journals and other scientific literature under an open content license. Wow, that sounds amazing. Sounds incredible. The Public Library of Science began in 2000 with an online petition initiative by Nobel Prize winner Harold Valmus, formerly director of the NIH, the National Institute of Health, and at that time director of Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, Patrick O'Brown. Wow, okay. So Patrick O'Brown started the Public Library of Science. Let's see what else. Patrick O'Brown sounds like a totally neutral guy. Patrick O'Brown is chief executive and founder of Impossible Foods and professor emeritus in the Department of Biochemistry at Stanford University. You guys want to read something beautiful? Read Stanford's, I think it was 1979, The Changing Images of Man document. Very, very interesting. So, the CEO and founder of Impossible Foods is the guy that published in his journal the meat tax study that all mainstream media just happened to pick up in the same week and push it. Jegs, will you stop telling me? Look at Jegs. Always wants me to buy parts. So, you guys think there might be a conflict of interest there? The CEO of the Impossible Burger runs PLOS, which publishes these studies on how to tax meat. No conflict of interest there, right? Patrick O'Brown. How interesting. Potential to curb the environmental burdens of American beef consumption using a novel plant-based beef substitute. Here's another totally neutral, gender neutral, in fact, article. Scientific published study. Probably peer-reviewed, guys. So it's peer-reviewed, so we know it's true, right? Anything that's peer-reviewed science study, that means it's true. It's got the stamp of the gods, right? It's like Neil deGrasse Tyson came and ordained this to be true himself. It's like Richard Dawkins himself declared this to be true, so it must be true because peer review. I mean, I can just imagine Richard Dawkins, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye the Science Guy sitting there reviewing this article saying, yes, this is true. This lines up with truth. We know that because of logic and reason. So, Benjamin Goldstein, Rebecca Moses, Morton Berkved, and Norman Salmons published this beautiful article very recently. The potential to curb the environmental burdens of American beef consumption using a novel plant-based beef substitute in PLOS, the same journal owned by Patrick Brown that published the study on the meat tax to save the world. They're going to model a study. What are the optimal tax levels? What are the optimal tax levels, right? How can we do this? We're going to lower health costs by raising the price of your food. We're going to lower health costs, right? I mean, I guess this could work if there's less people, if there's more dead people and less alive people. Health costs will be very, very, very low. I got no mods over there in the chat. I don't know what's going on. So let's look at this beautiful peer-reviewed study about about this amazing novel plant-based beef substitute. So the food demands of the United States impart significant environmental pressures. The high rate of consumption of beef has been shown to be the largest driver of foodborne greenhouse gas emissions, water use, and land occupation. Land occupation. So obviously it's the job of science to dictate what we do with our land, right? And this is public commons. All land is public commons. So if I own land and you're a scientist, if you're Bill Nye, or if you're Neil deGrasse Tyson, or if you're Benjamin Goldstein, Rebecca Moses, Norman Salmons, and Morton Berkvid, you've got the right to dictate how we use our land, right? Land occupation. So I've got my land is currently occupied by 10, or actually 11 now, cows, because we got a little baby boy, a little beautiful baby boy that we're gonna eat soon. A little baby bull. It's gonna be delicious. That's occupied by beef usage. So water usage, we're not allowed to decide how we use our water, how we use our land. It should be scientists. So if you can use a novel vegetal protein source in the mean U.S. diet where it replaces ground beef, and in the vegetarian and vegan diets where it substitutes for legumes, tofu, and other protein sources, we find that relative to the mean U.S. diet, vegetarian and vegan diets significantly reduce per capita foodborne greenhouse gas emissions. Well, that's amazing. That's incredible. Well, let's see the funding. Impossible Foods provided support in the form of salaries for authors RM and NS, but did not have any additional role in the study design, data collection, and analysis. Okay, cool. The CEO of Impossible Foods had minor say on the final decision to publish. Minor say. I mean, he started the publication. He started the publication, but he's got minor say in it. And you know, they provide minor support for the authors by giving them their salaries. And so yeah, competing interests. Two authors are employees of Impossible Foods. This commercial affiliation does not alter our adherence to PLOS 1 policies on sharing data and materials. So this is science for you guys. This is how science works, guys. No conflicts of interest here. This has been stamped with the seal of approval by Neil deGrasse Tyson himself and by Bill Nye the Science Guy, who has an engineering degree, who says gender is a spectrum now. He used to say that gender was determined by your chromosomes when I was a child. But science changes, guys, and good thing Bill Nye is here to tell us the changes in science, because gender is a spectrum, as you can see on his Netflix show, where they sing a song about butt stuff and how that's cool and normal to teach the kids about butt stuff and nice butt stuff play. PLOS. That's not POS, that's PLOS, guys. That's PLOS. So the owner of the Impossible Burger, the CEO of Impossible Burger, owns the publication that the BBC references to push the meat tax, and even American publications. We're talking all about this stuff. And that's what we got. So today on the Fat Earth, we've got Patrick, what's his name? Patrick O'Brown from Stanford University, starter of the Public Library of Science, being referenced. I mean, what a joke, right? What a joke. How crazy is this? So who are we going to pay these taxes to? Who do we pay these taxes to, guys? Well, of course, these international taxes will be paid to international banks, like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. And the World Bank. Here on Fat Earth, we got to pay taxes. The entire Fat Earth has got to pay taxes because the CEO of the Impossible Burger says it is so. Here's a renowned British scientist from Oxford University, Sir Richard Dahl, was paid by Monsanto for 20 years. $1,500 a day. in the mid-'80s from Monsanto. Celebrated epidemiologist who established that smoking causes lung cancer. Yesterday, Sir Richard Peto, great name, the Oxford-based epidemiologist who worked closely with him, said the allergens came from those, the allegations rather, came from those who wanted to damage Sir Richard's reputation for their own reason. So he's been knighted by the Queen. He's Sir Richard. You know who else was knighted? Wasn't Jimmy Savile a knight also? Jimmy Savile, another philanthropist. How crazy is this? Patrick O'Brown, the Impossible Burger. So, what's up with Impossible Burger? You know how much money's been put into the Impossible Burger recently? Well, as funding nears $400 million. $400 million. That's a 9-digit number. Impossible Foods targets meat eaters with plant-based burger that bleeds. Well, what's the Impossible Burger made out of? The Impossible Burger ingredients list. Number 1, water. 2, textured wheat protein. Awesome. There you go. So, got to get that Monsanto money, right? Get that Roundup in them. Textured wheat protein, coconut oil, potato protein, natural flavors, which anybody who's familiar with food labeling understands that natural flavors can be anything. That can be beaver anal glands. Beaver anal glands can be used as natural flavor instead of vanilla. But of course, this is a vegan Impossible Burger, so it wouldn't be beaver anal glands. 2% of less of leghemoglobin, soy, which we'll talk about in a minute, yeast extract, salt, soy protein isolate, there you go, got to get that vitamin S in there, cognac gum, xanthan gum, thiamine, zinc, niacin, vitamin B6, riboflavin, and vitamin B12. So it's just like meat. It's got vitamin B12, guys. It's fortified. It's fortified, y'all. Now, what is leghemoglobin? Well, leghemoglobin was declared not safe for human consumption by the FDA. It's a genetically modified hemoprotein. Of course, Wired Magazine, another totally neutral publication, giving loads of props. You know, if you look, Wired, 1 million views on their video, The Strange Science of the Impossible Burger, which we won't watch because we'll get demonetized because, you know, if you watch anything from these big corporate interests, you will get flagged by algorithms. I'll probably get demonetized anyways for using like big ag in the and propaganda. These are other terms that if you use, you're very likely to get flagged. A major victory for the Impossible Burger, the veggie meat that bleeds. All right, so, I mean, these people know that it's so unnatural to be eating these fake foods. You have to make it seem like meat. So vegans are they're so starved for food. They're so starved for meat. They want their burger to bleed, which when your burger has juices dripping out of it, it's not actually blood. People think that that's blood. These are interstitial fluids. So it's not actually bleeding your burgers. But the vegans, they really want the burger that bleeds. So it's a highly engineered food that Impossible Foods, which makes the burger, voluntarily submitted to the FDA in 2014 for what's known as the Graz Review, generally recognized as safe. Essentially, the submission said, for these reasons, we consider the novel food to be fit for human consumptions. It didn't get the response it wanted. In the summer of 2015, the FDA came back with questions, not necessarily calling soy leghemoglobin unsafe, but certainly looking for more safety information. Impossible Foods pulled its notice and resubmitted with additional safety studies done on rats. And on Monday, on rats. And on Monday, I wonder if these are human rats or like actual rats. In a win for the faux meat startup, the FDA came back with no further questions. Well, there you go. So the FDA approved of their genetically engineered heme. Their soy-based, genetically engineered, modified molecule of heme, which heme is very close to iron, hemoglobin. So they're trying to make it bleed, make that burger bleed, using GMO soy heme. So what's up with, let's check out impossiblefoods.com. What's up with Impossible Foods? Well, actually, let's first look at the funding for Impossible Foods. Of course, they have $400 million. That's half $1 billion. $500 million. The Impossible Foods. Just a few minutes into his presentation at TechFest NW, David Lee could sense suspicion and uncertainty amongst the crowd. I can tell you how quiet the room is. You guys are all dubious, said Lee. The premise of Impossible Foods is somewhat hard to believe. The Bill Gates-backed company, everybody's favorite philanthropist, who says that depopulation is the #1 goal. Depopulation, #1 goal of Bill Gates. So he's to depopulate the world. He's going to feed you guys. He's a philanthropist who wants to get rid of all the people. Conflict of interest? Well, the Bill Gates-backed company, which this week raised another $114 million, almost $500 million being put into making fake Soylent meat so far. And this is just Impossible Foods. Now, the Beyond Burger, Bill Gates is also involved in. Bill Gates has also pushed for international carbon taxes, also pushed for other measures to pay the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, to pay these international banks taxes on every single breath you take, to tax your children. So he's developing a plant-based vegan product that's indistinguishable from animal meat, which is a lie. It's not. Probably tastes like shit. I wouldn't put this in my mouth. I wouldn't feed it to my dogs. Lee, the COO and CFO at Impossible Foods, spent 30 minutes on stage in Portland on Thursday explaining how the company plans to use this technology to completely replace animal agriculture. Well, how great this lines up perfectly with everybody's favorite Lord Birkenhead, who in 1929, this member of the Royal Society, said that all animal agriculture will be replaced. We want meat eaters globally to happily prefer our plant-based vegan products because they think it's just better. We want to meet the meat eater on their own terms and make a more delicious product for them. The company's flagship proof-of-concept product, the Impossible Burger, is made from a combination of wheat protein, coconut oil, potato protein, and heme, according to its site. Heme is the substance that makes meat taste like meat. As if there's just one chemical that makes it taste like meat, right? You just got to put the heme. We'll make soy heme. We'll make soy heme for the soyim. The Impossible Burger uses 75% less water, generates 87% fewer greenhouse gases, and requires 95% less land than the conventional ground beef from cows. The burger is now available at 1,000 locations across the country, including at 12 restaurants in Portland, where my colleague Tom Krazit gave the tech-fueled creation a try and came away impressed. Look at how much money. You think these articles are free? You think these articles are free, that these just are published in Wired magazine, that Wired's going to make a 6-minute, highly edited video? I'll turn the sound off so we don't. So that Wired's going to make this highly edited video on. Look at this. Look at the production value. Impossible Burger. Look how disgusting this looks. You think that's free? You think Quartz makes videos for free? Gets 1.5 million views on it? Look, you can't even tell the difference. It was in a lab. It was made in a lab. You think everybody's
previously on Wu-Tang in Space.
You think everybody's favorite washed up former talented rappers like the Jizza and the RZA are gonna whore out their likeness for free? This is the Impossible Inc.'s Impossible Foods YouTube channel. Yeah, only 6,000 subscribers to this filth. And look at these hoes, Wu-Tang Clan, whoring themselves out. Look at Jizza and who's that? Is that Ghostface? That's not Ghost. Who is that? Look at.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah.
Yo, RZA, 900, take us around the earth one time.
I got you. Peace.
Look, y'all, the earth is fat. Yo, RZA, 900, you rule a zigzag zigalaw. Yo, I used to be moderately talented. And then I became a hoe for big industry, the RZA. Look at the jizza. Dude, jizza. What the hell, dude? Are you kidding me? Wu-Tang in space eating impossible sliders. Are you fucking kidding me? You think this is free? You think these hoes are going to get up on TV and dance for you for free? Nah. You got to pay the jizza. Here on Fat Earth, that shit costs. I know. Oh no, not the jizza. My rhyme, gross weight, vehicle combination. What to have it for the Chevys that chase out the... Yeah, come on. Come on. Liquid Sword's still one of the greatest rap albums ever made. But fucking jizza? You do me like that, jizza? You do me like that, RZA? This is what happens when you worship mammon. Yo, Wu-Tang is for the children. Yeah. Look at Ghost. Is that Ghost? I don't even know what Ghostface looks like anyway. That's Ghost, right?
We've been getting a lot of questions from Planet Earth.
Planet Earth.
Here's one right now.
Hey man, it's Serge from Lowell, Massachusetts, and I just want to know how I can further ascend my consciousness.
Read more, study more, learn more, and continue to ask questions.
Yeah, listen more woo.
Answer.
Yeah, listen more woo. I put out like 5 albums a year. Ghostface. Ghostface. Check the height from my what is that verse? Check the height from my Glock burst. Or what is that? What is that line? Ghostface. I don't even know. Look at these fucking dudes. Look at these guys. The Woo. The Woo repping the Impossible Burger. You think that's free? You think that shit's free? Ghostface. Check the blast from the Impossible Burger. Selling off my soul for mammons. Never gonna eat no salmon. Making myself to a soy boy. Listen to me. The earth is fat. Look at these jokes. Impossible Burger, guys. You think BuzzFeed gives you free? Look. Here's BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed's like, yeah, yeah. So, like, if you want, like, something that's really sustainable to serve at your abortion party, like, the Impossible Burger is such a great festive food that you can use. Like, so instead of serving real hamburgers at your abortion party, just, like, serve the Impossible Burger. Check out these really enlightened people eating it.
Bean patty. I would love a really solid substitute, and I've heard that this is it.
Yo, this the RZA coming at you from BuzzFeed. Ruler Zigzag Zigalaw. Yo, BuzzFeed, Impossible Burger. Check my new album called Gotta Submit to the UN. Remember when RZA on like Wu-Tang Forever, he had that verse? On the song Impossible, what was his verse? Oh no, that's a different one. Taking telescope pictures of the globe, babies being pierced with microchips, stuff inside their earlobes, then examinated, blood contaminated, vaccinated, lies fabricated, exaggerated, authorization, Food and Drug Administration, testing poison in prison population. Huh? What happened? What happened to United Nation, gun bias style patient, formulating rap, plural, acapella occupation, conquer land like Napoleon. The whole Babylon, cremate the whole Babylon. Bow down to whole Babylon. Be a hoe for Babylon. The RZA. Electric macros, robotic probes, taking telescope pictures of the globes. Baby me. Remember that? That was a sick verse. What happened? What happened? What happened to RZA? Blood contaminated, vaccinated, lives fabricated, exaggerated authorization, Food and Drug Administration, tested poison in prison population. Oh, now you're down for it though, huh? Yeah, you got matured. You know the ways of the world, yo. The RZA. Bobby Digital. Shit is critical. Spitting rhymes for the burger. That's impossible. So, what the hell? This was the most mind-blowing part of the whole thing. I think I hear my family. I hear everything through the headphones. Jessica, guess who's pushing the Impossible Burger?
Give me a hint.
The Wu-Tang Clan.
Really?
The RZA and the Jizza. Lies fabricated. Babies being pierced with microchips put inside their earlobes. Look at these degenerates. Inside the lab where Impossible Foods makes its plant-based blood. The company's faux beef will soon be available in stores and is still working to get even closer to a plant-based product that can fool meat eaters into thinking they're eating a real burger. Impossible Foods will finally sell plant-based burger meat in grocery stores. Just constant articles promoting this shit. $400 million being put into the Impossible Burger. The Wu-Tang Clan repping the Impossible Burger. Hoeing it up for big industry. For Bill Gates. Hoeing it up. I can't believe this. Wired magazine. All right, so there you go. So that's who's behind this last big push for meat taxes. That's who published the study that was referenced. The journal owned by the Impossible Burger CEO. Plant-based innovator to go public. Beyond Meat files for $100 million IPO. So Beyond Meat's going public. Net losses through September 29th, 2018 were $22.4 million. See, it doesn't matter because the people who are doing this, see, people don't understand that this is not about money. It's not about money when you're Bill Gates. It's not about money when you're the IMF and the World Bank. These people print money. They literally print money. They make up money out of thin air. It's not about money. This whole global economy, yeah, there's games played on various levels, but at the very top, it's not about money. It's about social control. Let's see. I mean, and look at all these mainstream 2.3 million views. Jeremy Clarkson tries the meat-free Impossible Burger. Impossible Foods, 323,000 views. BuzzFeed, of course. Look at this. Live kindly. Inside Impossible Foods vegan meat factory. Yo, just the RZA. Yo, check out Impossible Foods, y'all.
Production this week
It's for
at
the
the
children.
company's first large-scale production facility. The manufacturing site in Oakland, California, is ramping up production of plant-based meat and has the capacity to produce at least 1 million pounds of Impossible Burger per month. In development since 2011, the Impossible Burger is the world's only burger that looks, handles, smells, cooks, and tastes like ground beef from cows, but is made entirely from plants, with a much smaller environmental footprint than meat from animals.
Our mission is to transform the global food system. It's a huge opportunity. So we're embarking on one of the largest scale-ups in the history of the food industry.
So this guy with his effeminate voice and his unassuming personality, so non-threatening, that's the guy who owns PLOS, the journal that published the article that was talking about how much should we tax the slaves for eating meat. And there's no conflict of interest, of course, right? He owns the journal that published it, that BBC, and that all these mainstream media companies referenced. That's him.
We've been
Super
planning
awesome.
the scale up for a long time, so this is really exciting. At capacity, will be able to produce more than 1 million pounds a month, which will serve at least 1,000 restaurants nationwide.
The Impossible Burger uses about 75% less water, generates about 87% fewer greenhouse gases, and requires around 95% less land than conventional ground beef from cows.
The Impossible Burger is actually one of the best-selling items at nearly all of the restaurants it's served at. And as a result, almost all of the chains that we've been at, such as Umami and Bear Burger, are desperate for us to go chain-wide.
Wow. There's a lot of fake hype around the Impossible Burger.
Great for us, but it's been great for our customers as well.
As the 68,000 square foot plant ramps up production, thousands of new restaurants across the country will begin offering the Impossible Burger on their menus.
There you go. What else? What else, everybody? White Castle, Impossible Fake Burger versus Real Burger. Casey Neistat. Oh, Casey Neistat. The master vlogger. His company was bought by CNN. Plant-based news.
Hey guys, it's time for another cooking segment, and again, this one will be with my friend Tracy Desjardins.
Is it different? Where'd that go? This.
Hello everyone, Michelle here with Tony, and we are here on behalf of Plant-Based News. Today we're having some friends come over who are
Today we're having some friends who are coming over who are not vegan, but it's okay though because they're also never going to have children. They're also super in debt because they went to the university system where they were radicalized and brainwashed into this nonsensical eco-religion ideology. And we all don't want to have kids, we don't want to have families, and we love to emasculate men. So let's go taste these burgers together.
test 2 of the most popular vegan burgers on the market. We want to know which one is their favorite. So they're trying the Beyond Burger and the Impossible Burger. All right, our friends
Look at these like fake plastic smiles like stretched over these skeletons.
are here, Crystal and Michael. They are my neighbors / good friends /
And also, as you can see, we've got friends that are black. So we're like totally progressive. We're not racist. They're black. Look.
adventure buddies
Such
/ not
losers.
vegan.
Who are these people now?
And they are going to be trying the burgers, which we have prepared right here. Tony insisted that we
I think for that one you would be, because at least seeing it you might think, oh, okay, that's beef. Like if you saw it.
Also, it would never be my expectation that like
someone would trick you.
Hi guys, this is Tristan of Plant-Based News. We're in between classes at the university, and we just want to talk about how like this amazing Impossible Burger is gonna stop global warming. I'm feeling so much better after my abortion that I had last week. I just want to talk about how awesome the Impossible Burger is. Yeah, like totally. BuzzFeed. Meat lovers get pranked with plant burgers. I can't believe Wu-Tang though. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Is the Impossible Burger unsafe? This is crazy. So, the Impossible Burger, $400 million. $400 million being pumped into this. How crazy is that? $400 million getting pumped into. And it's not the development of the burger. They're done developing it. They're pumping $400 million into this to brainwash you into eating it. This is where the money's going, into all this media. Beyond Burger versus Impossible Burger. Vegan burger taste test. Lifelong vegetarian tries Impossible Burger.
nervous. Okay. I get to eat it, and I'm in Toronto. How do you know everyone? Apparently he knows everybody. I don't know anybody. First thing we're gonna eat is this thing. Jabs Diner. They have a place in Brooklyn, and I've been.
Hey, I'm covering my eyes because they're the windows to the soul, and I don't like when people look at me in the eyes because then it reminds me of just how insecure and broken I am inside, and I have no substance and nothing to talk about that's real. So let's go.
To go there because literally everyone was like, go there, but I just didn't get a chance. So today, I get to eat it, and I'm in Toronto.
Jessica.
These are waffle fries with a waffle Benedict. Pretty bomb. Delicious.
But when you want breakfast,
Yummy.
and french fries.
She can't hear.
Yeah.
And I can't even hear her.
This is great. What's in this? Explain this to me.
Or she just got back from ceramics. I'm totally gonna serve the Impossible Burger at my next abortion party. It's gonna be awesome.
Waffle fries.
So good.
Tofu, egg, ham, cherry tomatoes, and a hollandaise sauce.
The ham tastes like spam, and I'm dying.
It's so good, and the tofu is so good.
We just ate all of the waffle fries. Yum. And I'm sitting here a little sad because apparently Impossible Burger is here, and I've been wanting to try it forever. Lisa with the peanut allergy is having almond allergy is having this, even though they're nuts. This is the
Okay. Impossible Burger. I'm so triggered. I'm shaking right now. I'm literally shaking at the Impossible Burger. How crazy is... Alright, so here. Heme, the magic ingredient in the Impossible Burger. You guys want to learn about GMO heme? Let's hear this whitewashing.
Heme is...
Oh, it's Pat Brown! Shout out to Pat Brown, owner of PLOS, who the BBC referenced for the meat tax propaganda articles.
Iron-containing molecule, and it's essential for pretty much life on Earth. The heme in your blood grabs the oxygen from your lungs and carries it all around your body. And the amazing thing about heme, besides doing all that sort of stuff that enables life to exist on Earth, is that it's also what makes meat delicious.
We were the first to discover that heme is what makes meat taste like meat. It's highly abundant in animal muscle tissue, and if you were to eat meat raw, that bloody flavor that you get, that's heme. And when you cook meat, with all the different flavors and aromas that you get, that is catalyzed by heme as well.
The craving for meat is really a craving for heme and the iron and protein that it represents in the diet.
Every decision that we make is really driven by our values and our mission. We want to
Talks like she has something gross in her mouth.
feed the population in 2050. We want to do it in a way that does not destroy the planet. All of the decisions that we've made have been to produce a product that we can make in a way that is scalable and sustainable and safe, and that applies to heme.
We surveyed a lot of proteins and we identified soy-like hemoglobin. Soy-like hemoglobin could come from one of two.
So, or I can just go slaughter a cow that just wanders around and eats grass its whole life. Just go slaughter the cow, grind up some meat, and make a burger from that. But no, we need $400 million worth of development and propaganda to give us a fake one.
One would be in its natural form, which is in the root nodules of soy plants. But the other would be fermentation, which is a far more scalable and sustainable way of making that protein. Yeasts are used for making other proteins, certain kinds of beers, wines, and so it's something people are familiar with. The yeast that we use makes its own heme molecule. So we take the DNA for the soy-like hemoglobin protein and we insert that DNA into our yeasts.
So we take the DNA from soy, from GMO, that's already GMO, the Monsanto soy, and then we just put it into the yeast, and we let the yeast make GMO heme. This is what these people are trying to feed you. This is what these people want us to eat. Let's listen to that again, guys.
other proteins in certain kinds of beers, wines, and so it's something people are familiar with. The yeast that we use makes its own heme molecule. So we take the DNA for the soy like hemoglobin protein and we insert that DNA into our yeasts. Soy like hemoglobin protein its own heme molecule. So we take the DNA for the soy like hemoglobin protein and we insert that DNA into our yeasts.
Soy nodules. They're going to feed this to their soy nodules.
Heme is what produces the explosion of flavor and aroma when you throw a burger on a grill, and it's what makes the Impossible Burger taste so delicious.
They're going to solve world hunger, guys. They're going to solve the overpopulation issue. Meat tax would prevent 220,000 deaths. Neil Barntard. So there you go. Crazy, huh? Man, I need Rainbow Around the Moon to calm me down from this. I'm so triggered. I'm literally shaking. Strange days, huh? But you know what's cool? People don't want this bullshit. Look at Kraft Foods failing. Look at Kraft. Look at Campbell's failing.
Their price has been sliced nearly in half over the last 2.5 years. Kraft Heinz
Failing.
mixed third quarter earnings estimates. So did Kellogg, which also cut its full year profit forecast. Shares plunged, posting their biggest drop in 18 years. So
Ooh.
what's going on?
What's going
Consumer
on?
tastes are changing. Many people are looking for healthier options instead of processed foods. That's hurt sales for big packaged food companies. But that's not their only.
Yep. That's what's going on. Farmers markets. People are eating real food. And this is the only way to combat this, right? Raise your children on real food. Show your children what real food is. Get your kids involved in the production of their own food. Get freaking chickens. You can have chickens no matter where you live. If you live in the suburbs, if you live in a city, if you have a backyard, you can get chickens, right? Raise your own chickens. Get your own eggs. Be involved with your own food production. You don't need very much land to have goats. Goats can live off very small plots of land. Go to your local farmer's market. Right? Forge relationships with local farmers. And this is how we battle this. This is the only way. We've got to actually demand real foods. We have to create the economy that we want to live in. Right? I'm not saying that, it's not like there's actually a free market anyways, because these people are trying to tax you out of it. This whole free market mythology that these libertarian people and anarcho-capitalist people talk about, this illusory free market. I mean, this is the result of free market, right? Impossible Burger. But you know what? You've got local. That's a good idea. You've got locally produced foods. That's what we have to go for. Locally produced real foods. Right? Not this crap. Not the Chiquita bananas exported from Ecuador that you're destroying Ecuadorian rainforests for. You're destroying the soil of Ecuador with these pesticides used on these bananas to export them to Canada so that you can eat them in your freaking smoothies in the middle of winter in Canada, totally out of season. Right? Get real local foods. These people can't grow you lab-grown bone marrow. Demand real stuff. You see how if you talk to your local butcher, what we've seen over the last few years is incredible. Is a massive rise in demand for foods like liver, heart. People want organs. People are asking for organs. People are asking for bones. Bones used to be like dirt cheap, right? Now these yuppies in San Francisco are all trying to get bones from Whole Foods, and they're paying like $13 a pound for grass-fed beef bones. I'm not saying do that. Don't shop at Whole Foods anyways. Shop at your local markets. Shop at your farmer's market. Form relationships with local producers. You can go on Craigslist and find, cow share stuff. I mean, there's Jessica knows about a lot of the resources in the U.S. What's that cow share website, babe? It'll be a link in the video description. There's links in the video description to some of this stuff. That's cool. What's the link called? It's Crowd Cow. That's what it was. Crowd Cow. We have an affiliate link. You got an affiliate link for Crowd Cow down there. There you go. So you can help us get mammoths so we can buy food. So check out the affiliate link for Crowd Cow down in the description there. You can actually purchase with friends and family parts of an animal. You can throw down on a whole animal with friends, right? You get a big freezer, throw it in the freezer. That's what people are doing, and that's why a lot of these people are freaked out. That's why we're seeing this big propaganda push. That's why they're having to get Wu-Tang Clan to whore out these products, like the Impossible Burger. That's why billions of dollars are getting pushed into this industry slop, the Soylent slop. Of course, Monsanto and Cargill, this is the wet dream. This is the wet dream of the Rockefeller Foundation, which started the green revolution that totally consolidated the entire food supply in the hands of very few corporations, corporate interests like Monsanto, Cargill, Archer Daniels Midland. So the demand for locally produced quality food is there. You can order whole chickens online, someone was just saying. Right? You could have chickens and ducks at your house. Keep the girls, eat the boys. Exactly. And we just had we obviously live in the hills. We live up in the middle of nowhere, so we can have cattle, right? So we just had a bull that was born. In a few months, that bull's going to be in our freezer. It's going to be in our mouth. That bone marrow from that bull is going to be in my mouth. So we're going to be having veal soon. You know, I mean, it's like you can be involved in the production of your own food, or at least make relationships with people who are. So if you go on Craigslist in your local area, you can search for these things. You can search for producers. What would be the term that you'd search for on Craigslist if you're looking for beef?
Well, some people they usually sell the animal live, and then they'll process it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you could look for like whole steer, bulk grass-fed beef.
Yep.
And grass-fed beef would be a good keyword to start with.
Get on your local Craigslist. Even outside of your county, surrounding counties, you could find really good deals, and you make relationships with these producers. This is why a lot of these people are freaked out too, though. That's why they're pushing this meat tax so hard. People are not buying into the bullshit. When you can print money, you can bypass this stuff. When you can print money and give it out to whores like Wu-Tang Clan, like RZA and Jizza. When you can give it to celebrities, when you can give it to Leonardo DiCaprio and have him say whatever you want, it doesn't really matter as much. But, you know, the people who are watching this, I know you guys are a little bit more savvy. We got a lot of future ex-vegans watching this as well. Remember, 84% of you vegans watching won't be vegan very soon. You know, all the vegans been freaking out this week. A bunch of people sent me videos too, but I haven't really watched. I don't really know this chick, but Kal-El named herself after Superman. Quit veganism. Oh no, another vegan YouTuber quit veganism. Just wait, there's going to be more coming. Lots of these famous vegan YouTubers are already not vegan. They're just scared shitless of the backlash. But they don't need to be. They don't need to be scared at all. And a lot of people are going to be coming out soon. This is just the beginning. You're going to see these vegan YouTubers crumbling. All right. So what else, guys? What else is going on? We got BuzzFeed. Look at all BuzzFeed's vegan videos. We tried the 7-day vegan challenge. $10 versus $135 vegan food. Meat lovers try vegan diets for a week. Vegan for 30 days. The test, friends. Vegan soul food adventure. Vegan stereotypes versus actual vegan. That one's not BuzzFeed. I'm vegan, but not. Look at all this propaganda.
I'm vegan. I'm vegan.
I'm vegan.
I'm vegan.
I'm vegan.
I'm vegan, but I'm not judging you when you eat a cheeseburger in front of me.
I'm vegan, but I don't think I'm better than you. I'm vegan, but I'm not radicalized. I'm not gonna throw red paint on your fur coat.
I'm vegan, but I'm not against killing animals for food. But I'm not lacking protein or nutrients.
But I'm not weak or skinny.
But I'm not a health nut. No salads here. But I'm not eating bland, nasty food.
I'm vegan, but my diet doesn't define all of who I am.
Yeah, we know you got
I'm
other,
vegan,
we know you got
and
other
I'm a
definitions.
bodybuilder, and I'm Mexican.
And I still eat way too much pizza.
I'm vegan and I am a hippie.
And I really believe in the impact that it has on climate change.
And I'm an adventurous foodie.
I'm vegan and I eat pizzas,
Cheeseburgers,
hot dogs,
donuts, ice cream.
everything.
I'm vegan and I'm not afraid to.
All right. Shit. Was there licensed music in that? Whatever. Probably get demonetized now. He'll be monetized on behalf of BuzzFeed. Ridiculous. All right. If you guys want me to read any of your questions, I don't see any super chats. I think there might have been one earlier that I missed. The guy who sent the super chat earlier, I think somebody did. Thanks for the super chat, dude. We do regularly get demonetized. Probably get flagged now for showing BuzzFeed video, whatever. It is what it is.
And so anyway, we were tagged in this Instagram. Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So anyway, we were tagged in this Instagram post from a carnivore person, and I don't know who this person is. And I'm not making this video to attack him. So he says a vegan diet will not work for a majority of people. Most last less than a year and only 15% last more than 5 years. And he says animals are food and give the best nutrition. And he wants Tim to stick with the eggs. They might save you. Red meat will cure you if you're willing to go the whole 9 yards. That means go full on carnivore. A diet that needs supplementing is poor. But let's look at this first comment down below. It's revealing. He says, eat only meat. No lack of nutrition eating a steak. When you eat only meat, you don't need any supplements because you don't lack any vitamins or minerals. Really, meat is a complete source of all vitamins and minerals. This should be interesting and it should be really easy to fact check. So it's just a matter of me figuring out how
really. All right, so Ryan from Happy Healthy Vegan, are you really going to make the argument that a banana diet is better than an all-meat diet? I mean, there have been studies. There have been in the 1930s. You had Stephenson and Anderson, who were studying in a metabolic ward in New York City, ate an all-meat diet for an entire year. And the results were, I think Stephenson said they were remarkably unremarkable because they were totally fine. All meat, whole year. No scurvy, no nutritional deficiencies, no health problems at all. All meat diet. You're going to try to eat an all banana diet, you're going to get durian riderism really quickly. I mean, you're going to get freely the banana girlism probably within weeks.
meat and what kind of meat a typical carnivore person eats in a day. So I went to this article on the carnivore diet on Biohackers, and they explained it here. In fact, they got a quote from former no longer licensed Dr. Sean Fager saying a typical person eats about 2 pounds of meat a day. So that commenter guy that said you're lacking no nutrition when you eat steak, I put in a sirloin steak into Chronometer and let's see what happened. So remember, this is for a complete day of eating. So if manganese, foods, but don't cast stones at vegans for needing supplements. It's plainly obvious that your guys' diet is truly lacking. I'm not just saying this as an attack, I'm just telling you what the facts say here. And
the facts, he looks on Chronometer and then makes up the facts. I can't watch this. This is too much. Let's learn about the truth. At least Nature Boy is honest about his vegan cult. Jim Jones meet Mike Jones. Jim Jones or Mike. Stand and deliver. That's the best one. Stand and deliver. Oh man, I think we watched that at like 3 of my classes in high school. That's so funny. Well done. See, at least he's honest with his fruitarian cult. His fruitcakean cult. The truth. Let's learn. At least he's honest.
Lucid.
Feet on the dirt, get in tune with the planet. Eat from the earth, get in tune with the planet. Take from the earth and don't get back, you bend it. Get back your dirt, ayy. What if I told you that money go vanish? Loving the earth and don't take it for granted. Don't like a natural, we need your organic. Nigga, we hurt.
What if I told you that money go poof? Chasing that dollar, she don't fuck with you. Don't be an animal stuck in the zoo. Hop with them boxes just like kangaroo. Get out them boxes, come back to the tropics. You know that's the topic, your area toxic. Focus on logic, will come out the faucet. Chlorine and narcotics, they got you hypnotic. You
Clean cut, fresh suit. They program your mind and they put you in school. More or less, we messed up. It's time to be the change and make this shit cool. Original man, know I come from the dirt. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. Made it to the kingdom, put in the work. If you want to stay woke, go connect to the earth. Feet on the dirt, get in tune with the planet.
Whack ass music, dude. People actually listen to this music. Such degeneracy. Carbonation. He calls himself the Christ.
This lecture is called Keys to the Kingdom of Heaven. And what is the kingdom of heaven? What is the kingdom of God? Okay? I would like to give a special shout out right now to my beautiful wife, Nana, Aya, for helping me illustrate my thoughts on this beautiful big board and their beautiful art. Let's give them a hand. Good.
Good.
This is
Pats
going to be a
himself
very
on the back,
important
literally.
download because, man, this is it. This is it. I know you heard me talk about it, but I want to do an official download where you can share it with your people. Clearly, in Matthew 13, he says, in them is the prophecy of Isaiah, for they will be forever hearing, but not perceiving.
Oh, dude, he's live right now.
You're stupid for saying that. You know, I just learned that. Like, damn, this person is really an idiot. You know? So, anyway, move forward. Maya. Mia, Maya, Aya, Traya, Anaya.
Ileana.
Y'all all on fire.
Look at his hair.
Nana.
Go ahead and change it.
You're on fire.
My name's
I think it's crazy that people. Sorry, I think it's crazy that people say that like they always say that you taking advantage of me or something. Like they've always said things like that. They play me as this victim, and I'm like, no. Like I asked to come here, I asked to be here, and I have to work on myself to stay here. And when I choose to like, you know, like what Mama Serenity was saying, when I choose to not deal with my issues, then, you know, you put me in check, like, and you bring me to a realization that, you know, this is an opportunity to grow. You can either take it or you can leave it. And I've seen, being here for as long as I have, I've seen so many people leave this opportunity, and where do they end up? You know what I'm saying? They end up right back in their shit because you can't run from yourself. And even with me being pregnant now, it's like it's teaching me to deal with myself. I can't run from the relationship that I'm in. We know it's his baby, just in case that's
Yeah,
we
know now. We
So-
know for sure.
So it's so I can't run from the relationship. I was trying to do many of times. I have to sit in. We actually have been like realizing why we're in this relationship and not running from it like we were before, because I can't be like, because it's funny because my Babylon mother ran from 3 different relationships, and all of my Babylon siblings, we have different fathers. So I know that was my fate in Babylon. I know that was like, I seen that in Babylon, and I was like, I can't be that. Like, I know that's not for me. So my reality is showing me, like, my universe is showing me, well, if you don't want to be that, you have to commit to this, and you have to work on yourself to get through those traumas and overcome them. And it's not easy.
It's so scary to see. Like these are people's children here, you know. My Babylon mama. See how they're all talking about they coming from broken homes and stuff. This is what happens, man. This is what happens when you break down people's psyche. When you break down the fabric of society and reality, and you give people moral relativism, you give people false reality. You get Jim Jones meets Mike Jones. That's crazy. Check it out. Vegan McDonald's arrives in Thailand. So, I mean, it's just big industry loves pushing this processed crap on us, right? And this whole vegan movement, it's not like none of these vegans actually understand this, but they're just useful idiots. These are the useful idiots of this agenda. These people will buy into it. Just like we were talking to Vegan Foot Soldier the other day, and he said, I will happily go to McDonald's if they serve vegan foods. I will eat McDonald's. McDonald's is great as long as they're vegan. He's like, I don't care if Bill Gates, is behind all this stuff. That's great. It's like, I don't care if these global corporations are pushing veganism. That means that it's good. So these people are they're so ready to bow down to anything that justifies their ideology, which their ideology is so fickle, right? I mean, they're just propagandized and brainwashed into this stuff. They have no idea the greater implications of it. They have no idea. They want identity, right? People have had their identity robbed from them. People have no cultural identity. They don't believe in reality. They don't believe in truth, right? People don't believe in God. So they make up all these other little gods. They parade around like we're enlightened atheists. We don't believe in God. We're so cool. Neil deGrasse Tyson is so amazing, right? I'm a vegan. I don't believe in objective morality, but I'm going to push my moral position on everybody. Vegan McDonald's enters Thailand. The vegan movement is thriving in Chiang Mai, Thailand. The city is home to more than 100 vegan and vegetarian restaurants. We'll soon play host to another one. Freaking McDonald's. Vegan McDonald's is entirely guilt-free. Check it out. In the nation formerly known as Switzerland, the Swedish brand Oatly, vegan brand, receives $380,000 government grant to repurpose as oat waste. Right? So I mean, this is not about saving the planet, feeding people. It's not about giving you a nutrient-dense diet. It's about giving you soylent slop and brainwashing you into eating a bunch of processed junk shit. A bunch of processed crap. That's what these people want. And the new religion that you're given, it's this fake eco-religion. It's this false reality. You're given false gods. You're given idols. You're given Neil deGrasse Tyson. You're given Kim Kardashian. Look at this. Vegan brand Oatly receives $380,000. And there's just a plethora of these vegan, vegetarian blogs out there. And it's, the people writing these articles, they're just like failed college students, the same type of people who are working at BuzzFeed. Kate Von D to release home birth documentary. Oh, amazing. Celebrities. Emma Thompson wore vegan sneakers. Who the hell is Emma Thompson? Yeah, I mean, this is what you're given. Your stars. Dancing with the Stars. American Idol. American Idol and Dancing with the Stars. These are the false gods that you're given here on Fat Earth. This is your new religion. Compassion. So the vegan movement is just one little part of this, right? It's just one little sect. And even dudes like Nature Boy, this guy knows. This guy's just using this vegan thing. I mean, first of all, it's a great way of brainwashing people. Because if you get people nutrient depleted, and this was a big part of a lot of the experimentation done in the 20th century on controlling people's behavior, on behaviorism. If you nutrient deprive people, if you starve them of nutrition and of sleep, it makes them very, very manipulable. It makes you very suggestible. Right? So in the 60s, you saw the massive push. The government started pushing LSD on everybody. Makes people super receptive to brainwashing, super receptive to the messages that they pumped out through TV, through idols like Jim Morrison, the rest of these Laurel Canyon crowd. And veganism is just one little part of this. You know, all these, whenever there's a cult, all these cults you see, like the Heaven's Gate cult, Jim Jones meets Mike Jones 2.0, Carbon Nation TV, Eligio Nature Boy, Master Teacher, whatever his new name is now. They always use diet as a part of it. You control the food that you feed your flock. They have to come to you for everything. They have to come to you for the food. They have to come to you for approval. And they break you down in these cults. And these little cults that you see here, like Nature Boy, this is just a microcosm of the macrocosm cult of Western society right now. And there's all of these little cults are allowed to proliferate because most of them feed into the big message anyways of just degeneracy and the destruction of the family, the breakdown of traditional values, traditional ways of living, connection to the natural cycles of life around us, actual knowledge about how to use those natural cycles of life around us to harvest our own food, to feed our own families. And dudes like Nature Boy, you think this guy's really ideologically attached to veganism? No, he's probably not even vegan himself. Look how fat he's gotten over the years. I mean, he's eating wheat and stuff like that, but he was fruitarian for a while. He's cholesterol depriving all of these cult members. He's starving these women, abusing them. He finds broken, abused people, and he brings them into his fold. And this is why I like going to Nature Boy, because he's the microcosm of the vegan movement too. He's like this one little piece, and he's an extreme example, but you see it manifesting in all these little groups. You saw Durian Rider, right? Durian Rider now, everybody's constantly pushing rape accusations all over everybody in veganism now. This is what you're given. You're not given real theology. You're given this twisted theology. It's all just energy. It's all just spiritual energy, and we're just energy consuming each other. These people aren't attached to the veganism. They use it just like they use the cult talk. They use the occult. This occult knowledge, he talks about astrology and all this shit. It's hypnotic induction. Breaking down people's psyche and slipping in the message. Right now, he likes to take this sexual angle on it. Constantly using like kind of NLP techniques, basic NLP techniques to sexualize his talk. Talking about all this, his fluids and all this stuff. And he's attracted this whole flock of chicks and men that he abuses sexually as well. But this is just one little example of what's possible with all these bullshit tools out there now. Right? And the whole greater vegan movement is not too far removed from Nature Boy. I mean, at least he goes all the way. Earthling Ed and these fake guys out there, these fake people talking about compassion, right? Even I talk to Vegan Gains, who denies all metaphysics, says, "Oh, there is no God. You're ridiculous if you believe in God." But then he believes in reason and logic, and he believes in matter giving birth to consciousness, which consciousness is not a physical thing. Right? I mean, you've been disconnected from reality. You've been disconnected from truth. Been disconnected from what is good. And now you see society spiraling out of control, going further and further down into this nonsense, into this degeneracy, into all these little false cults, these false gods, these idols that people worship to fill the God-shaped hole in our hearts. People don't want the truth. People don't want accountability. They want lesser truths. So they jump into veganism. Or they jump into race idolatry. Right? Oh, white race. We gotta bring together the Thulian perspective and guys like this, right? Talking about we gotta erect the white race. These LARPing single childless people who believe in nothing. They start worshiping, oh, we're going to bring back Odinism. We're going to bring back this or that. All right, you get the black Israelites. Right? You just get people, they make up whatever cult they want. People get to make up their own little gods. But people don't want to really ask real questions. Tumble Bear. I try to get a hold of Owen. If you know how to get a hold of him, I'd love to talk to him too. I do watch him. He's a good guy. I'd love to talk to him. I want to see Owen talk to Jay too. He and Jay need to talk. Tumble Bear, if you can get a hold of Owen, or if you know a way to get a hold of him, I've tried, and I have failed. Andrew Scarborough says, could God exist outside of time and space? What made time and space? These are created. Yes. God exists outside of time and space. God, he created time and space. Best trolling videos ever, those black Israelites. Yeah, they're funny, man. The black Israelite people are funny. But there's thousands of these little cults everywhere now. People want to deny true theology. People don't want to look deeper into these things. They just want to make it up. They want what feels good. They want feel-good masturbatory theology. Or they want to talk about the singularity. Right? You get transhumanism. That's the modern. That's like kind of the big meta cult that's pushing the world towards this transhumanist stuff. Transhumanism. The singularity, bro. We're all one. We're all just one. Monism. See, these things have been discussed and actually talked about in theology for thousands of years. Coney 2012. Remember that? And all you silly little atheists out there preaching atheism, Nietzsche laughed at you guys. Nietzsche said, you guys are the biggest fucking idiots of all. You're more dogmatic than the people that believe in God. Nietzsche laughed at you atheists and said, you're worse than the Protestant jokesters. All right. We should start wrapping this up, guys. I can't believe the Wu-Tang Clan. But it's, I mean, what do you expect when you worship Mammon? Right? Like Wu-Tang, like they had a few good verses throughout the years, but it's always been about money, drugs, and sex. And then they had these affiliations, the 5% Nation and all this nonsense, all this other false theology. Arm, leg, arm, head. Ruler, zigzag, zigalow. Yeah, the simulated universe, exactly. Atheists talking about, well, yeah, obviously there's no creator, but the Big Bang and the simulated universe, it's just a simulation, man. Oh, yeah, like, I was watching Joe Rogan the other day, and he was talking about a simulation. It's like all reality is just like fake, dude. It's like a video game, bro. It like doesn't even matter. You just respawn, dude. You just fucking respawn, bro. You know, I mean, people trying to start communes back in the 60s and 70s. How'd that turn out? How'd the communes turn out? Oshoites, Rajneeshis. You ever met some of those folks? Sad bunch. You're giving your false idols. You're giving your false gods. But what's really behind this? This movement away from truth. This movement away from what is good. And what is really good? What is the source of what is good? Who decides what is right and what is wrong? Do you decide what's right and what's wrong? Do you decide what's true? That's modernism. That's post-enlightenment. That's Enlightenment philosophy. Relativism. Yeah, man. Yo, peace to the gods. The gods and the earths. Isn't that funny? As we go from RZA's pumping the Impossible Burger, and we got Carbon Nation TV, Nature Boy, talking about the same thing, making his own little cult. Yo, we the gods. We'll see how that works out. Be your own god. Charlie Manson tried. Jim Jones did it. All right. So I got my kids in the house. They're having fun over there. I can make fun of vegans, though, guys. I can make fun of vegans because I'm a trans vegan. I'm a trans vegan. So I can make fun of vegans. And whatever I say about veganism, it's okay because I'm trans vegan. I'm also trans atheist. So I can make fun of atheists as well. All right. We're going to wrap this up, guys. So the next Keto and Carnivore Collective, I'm starting on December 9th. I think that's just a few weeks from now. Today's Thanksgiving. We barely even talked about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving in the U.S. We can't end it. We got to talk about Thanksgiving. How many of you are going to go to Thanksgiving, sit down, eat a nice turkey dinner, enjoy yourselves? How much does turkey suck, too? How about some steaks for Thanksgiving? We'll be having steaks. What's today's mathematics? See, but Nature Boy uses the same stuff. Isn't that funny? Nature Boy uses all that same stuff. You saw his little chart. He had the Allah, arm, leg, arm, head. Same Wu-Tang stuff. 5% Nation. He mixes it in with the Black Israelite stuff. Isn't that funny? So funny. Thanksgiving. But I'm not a big fan of turkey. Turkey sucks. I talked to my dad last night. I was like, dude, you can have turkey. He's like, no, I'm having ribs. He's making ribs. He said prime rib. He's having prime rib. So my dad's having prime rib. I'll have a rib eye. I had carbs this morning. I've been having some honey and yogurt the last few days. My carnivorous carbohydrates. That's what I had for breakfast. Yeah, Tumble Bear. If you can get a hold of Owen, I'd love that. I've tried to. I would love to have him on here. I don't know. I have a much smaller following, so he has nothing to gain. But I would just like to talk to him. He just seems like a really good guy. He and I have a very similar outlook. Very different, but similar. Eat meat, make families, right? Eat meat, make families. That's what it's all about, guys. Got the Eat Meat, Make Families shirts on the website, too. Eat Meat, Make Families. Got tanks. The tanks are sick. This tank is really rad. Got hoodies, tanks, t-shirts, women's shirts. Eat Meat, Make Families. The Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, you guys can find that. It's available in print on our website. We've been working on the next book. That's going to be coming out relatively soon. It's going to be fun. Next Keto and Carnivore Collective, our community coaching setup. We're doing that on December 9th. If you want private coaching consultations, we still do those. I do a lot less of it. We get a lot of requests. I can't handle so many Skype meetings all the time. I prefer to be able to talk to 1,000 people in a day in a live stream, not at a time. Obviously we usually get about 200 people watching at a time, but at the end of the day, 1,000 people will have seen this live stream. I can communicate with a lot more people and talk about a lot of different things, whereas with private coaching consultations, it does get repetitive, but hey, we're good at what we do. We do a damn good job, and it's fun being able to talk to people from all over the world, but it's even funner doing it in a community setting in the Keto and Carnivore Collective. So the link's in the description down below. Keto and Carnivore Collective. Super fun setup where we're able to do 2 live interactive voice chats per week. One of those is a lesson, and then the other one is just a Q&A. But, we're also using a live Discord server where people are able to communicate with each other, support each other, and it's a really good setup. So I know some people are shy. It doesn't mean you don't have to be like talking in the live chats on the Discord as well. There's a lot of people, in fact, a majority of people just kind of lay low and learn. So it's a really fun setup for community coaching, for group coaching. We got a lot of people. We had a few people this week buying the Keto and Carnivore Collective for their boyfriends, for their family as a Christmas gift. So that'll be cool. We'll do one in January as well. We're starting to build our house this week. Got the foundation kind of groomed off. I think I'm going to head up to the property maybe right now. Maybe I'll bring Ariana up there on the bike and we'll go check out. The máquina is done. Está lavando la tierra. Vamos a construir la casa muy pronto. So that's pretty fun. What else is going on, guys? I don't know what else to talk about. I'm just watching the chat. It's not a free Discord server, Shareed. I don't do that. Just join my Discord server. I'm not Ask Yourself. I'm talking about our group coaching. So if you want to sign up for that, you can sign up for the Keto and Carnivore Collective. It's each month we do a different group. Each month we do a different group. It allows us to basically handle more than one client meeting a day, because I don't do more than one Skype meeting a day. In fact, I've tried to decrease dramatically the amount of Skype meetings I do per week, because we can give you a lot more information in the group setting, and it's a lot more fun, and we have a community aspect of it, which is great. So, yeah, guys, there is truth. You don't just get to make it up. Oh, you know what? Jay did a really good theological, 4-hour seminar yesterday. I only got about 40 minutes into it. So check out Jay Dyer's YouTube channel. If you want more stuff on theology, on Eastern Orthodoxy, on where the truth really comes from. If you want to actually explore these aspects of life a little bit deeper, check out Jay's site and Jay's YouTube channel. Jay Dyer, he's a regular over here. We've had him on a few shows. Great guy. Did a really, really good talk yesterday. So, yeah. Tumblebear said, I just realized I was typing. Oh. Tumblebear, get in touch with me. If you know how to get in touch with Owen Benjamin, would love to talk to him. He's a great dude. I try to tune into his live streams when he jumps on. Truth is real. That's right. Truth is real. And the way, the truth, and the life is not to be found in all these stupid little cults. Beatbox says you should do a live stream about theology once. I'm not nearly as well versed in theology as Jay Dyer. In fact, I get a lot of my reading recommendations on theology from Jay. He's actually responsible for introducing me to Eastern Orthodoxy after I'd just leading me into reading about the church fathers and where a lot of these ideas have been talked about. I mean, talking about monism and kind of these other nonsensical theological frameworks that we discussed today, where you see all this gobbledygook and all these cults coming out of Nature Boy and all this stuff, this mix of these new age ideas. No, Jan Irvin will not be on here. That guy's insufferable. That guy's foolish. He has some good episodes talking to some people, but that guy's foolish. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, check out Jay. He's got a great reading list too. He's made a lot of really good recommendations. About to get into this one. My Father Seraphim Rose, Genesis, Creation, and Early Man. This is the bookmark. I didn't read that far already. That's just a good chapter that I was kind of looking through. Very interesting. What's your opinion on human consciousness? Man is made in the image of God. And that's how we have reason. That's how we have logic. And it's only revealed to us. And even these atheists understand that logic and reason is something outside of themselves, that they don't make it up. That they don't make it up. So human consciousness, human consciousness is created. And we're made in the image of God. We're not God, made in the image of God. Right? The image of God not being a picture, not being a selfie. Like God took a selfie. Right? but made in the image of God, being that we have the ability to have reason, to have logic. Because these are things that are revealed to us. They're revealed through all of creation. And the fact that God exists is constantly being revealed to us. Belief in evolution and God compatible. Show me evolution. There's loads of nonsense theological things out there. There's loads of bullshit cults out there. People assume just because something's been repeated often by false authorities that they're somehow true. People think they make their own consciousness. That's cool. You want to believe that? Follow that down the line. You can enjoy that. Sure didn't work out for Nietzsche, who died syphilitic and mad, alone, while the woman that he loved ran off with a poet that actually believed in God, Rainer Maria Rilke. E. coli experiments. All right, reflections. Peace, reflections. Eat meat and make families, folks. Not a single culture in the history of humanity has been so dumbed down and decadent to bow down to cows and crickets and to give up their own children to this death cult of denial of proper human nutrition. You can find more at primaledgehealth.com. Get off the computer. Get off the freaking social media. Kill your Facebook account. Quit watching degeneracy. Quit allowing nonsense to be drilled into your consciousness, and seek the truth. Peace.